Hey guys, welcome to yet another video, much longer than the last one fortunately, and hopefully more entertaining. Today I ran some Hunger Games Battle Royale randomizer matches, where every block and item drop was randomized, as well as a flower powered game mode, where breaking blocks give random loot. Today's games weren't very intense. I got some kills, messed around a bit, and pulled off an interesting strategy towards the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Alright, so I've just landed. Somehow there's already a player dead. It's not instant PvP, so I'm assuming you're disconnected. But since it's not instant PvP, I don't have to worry about getting chucked into fights or jumped, even though I've just found some actually pretty good loot. Hold on. Damn, okay. Bastion loot's really good early game, and especially late game for netherite gear and golden apples. But if you are living under a rock and unfamiliar with the premise of the randomizer game mode, I'm sure you can tell what it is now. Each block broken gives a random block that's not usually what it drops, and the same goes for mob drops and fishing. But at the moment all I really need is wood and diamonds, and I can practically get at least full unenchanted netherite gear, which will be super useful. So I'm going to break down these soul lanterns for a little bit, and with the magic of editing, it'll be chucked into a very short time lapse. With that time lapse done, I really do need to find diamonds, since I have enough for at least half netherite currently, and if I could get netherite before PvP even actually starts, I would almost definitely be more geared than the opposing players, unless they've also found some good gear. Speaking of other players, I could have sworn I saw one just over that mountain, behind the river. I think I'm gonna go check that out actually. Okay, so there was a guy there. I'm just gonna swim by and pretend like we never saw each other. It's still 7 minutes till PvP, so I think I can just get away. I don't think he's that dedicated to follow me for 7 minutes. So I'll just head up here and check up the village just up here. Maybe check a couple things while I'm at it. Leaves, nothing much. Logs, nothing much. Okay, I don't need much up here. Oh, what is actually really useful? I need that for the nether armor, so I can make pull armor, as well as the smithing table. Now I just need the diamonds. We'll craft up some basic gear for now. As of currently, I was in a good position. I had very basic armor, but all I needed were diamonds. Then I could make netherite and hopefully get enchants later on, since the gold and netherite were both really accessible from the soul lanterns. Nothing interesting takes place from now and then until 2 minutes until PvP is turned on. So for your sake, I'll be skipping over until I 1 have my first collision with a player, and 2 get my first good gear, because they both happen at the same time. With only a few more minutes until PvP was enabled, being present and looting a structure that had players inside was certainly risky, but the gear was deeming itself worth the risk. At the moment, the risk of being followed out of that structure was very high, and although I had the potential to make better gear, as of the current state, the two players present in the structure both had much more advanced gear than I did, and continuing to loot was even more risky, and I started to contemplate if I should retreat now or continue trying to get more notches and more heals for a fight later on. After I started smelting the debris I had, the tense atmosphere began to dwindle, and I believed that I wasn't followed into the cave, and so I began to gear up as quick as I could. However, to my misfortune, I didn't have the required 2 planks to make a smithing table, meaning I had to risk being spotted once again and go up onto the surface, while I was unaware of how to get wood as I had forgotten what block gave it to me. I rapidly began testing trees and other blocks, looking desperately for what gave wood or logs. After somehow failing a water bucket clutch, it appeared that I had gotten away from the other players and most likely had been followed with just a few mere seconds before PvP was enabled. For now, I ended up staying in the caves and testing blocks and items, so once again, with the magic of editing, it will all become a time lapse. Being back on the surface, my chance of being spotted with just my iron gear and netherite leggings was very high. Despite my maxed out leggings, if someone has a full diamond loadout, it could be fatal, especially if it's enchanted. With that, I had now upgraded my diamond chestplate all the way up to netherite, and was much more protected. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to capture most of the game in between there and the deathmatch. However, during that gap, I discovered that dripstone blocks gave Ravager spawn eggs, and you'll see what I did with that information. And with that, that was the game. I hope you enjoyed, and if you did, please do consider subscribing. It's free and helps out a ton. Bye, guys.